Hello, everybody. My name is Corina Balan, and I'm from the Microsoft Fast Track team. Together with my colleague, Amira Beldjilali, we will be providing an introduction into Viva Sales today. Viva Sales is a Microsoft 365 application designed with the seller in mind, with the goal to improve their overall experience interacting with the CRM systems. Viva Sales lives in the Microsoft tools sellers love and use today, such as Outlook and Teams, and it works seamlessly with two backend CRM systems today, Dynamics 365 and Salesforce, with support for more CRM systems to be added in the future. Today we'll be covering a number of different areas, both functional and technical. First, we will be addressing the challenges that sellers are facing today in an increasingly digital selling workplace and how Viva Sales solves these with demos of capabilities in Outlook and Teams, including the most recent AI GPT powered capabilities, or as we call it, the Viva Sales Copilot. Then we will do a deep dive into the Viva Sales architecture and cover topics such as compliance, security, and encryption. Afterwards, we'll be discussing the customization and configuration and application lifecycle management topic, and finally close with licensing and change management. Let's start. We think that disconnected tools are the number one seller productivity blocker. According to our insights, sellers currently spend only 32% of their time selling, with 34% or 14 hours per week spent on administrative tasks. Most decision makers want to believe that business is getting done in the CRM system where business data resides, but the reality is that salespeople spend more time in their Office 365 and Teams apps. And the issue is that these systems are often siloed, they don't integrate easily or even at all with each other. So sellers have to constantly switch and duplicate efforts across their CRM system and their Outlook and Teams. These tasks can be inputting data in the CRM system, creating activities, scanning the CRM to find the right person to contact, or creating follow up tasks from previous meetings with customers. As such, a big challenge for companies is the manual data entry. All this administrative work is keeping sellers from spending more time with customers and closing deals. To address all these seller challenges, meet Microsoft Viva Sales, a new Microsoft 365 application designed to improve seller productivity and enable deeper customer engagement by bringing customer context, aka CRM data, into the seller's flow of work. Sellers can work in their familiar tools, while Viva Sales helps them collect sales contact data, freeing them to focus on customer connections. Sellers can be more productive with real time insights to better understand where each customer is in their purchase journey. Customized reminders and tips served up by AI act as a personal coach and are designed to help sellers move each sales forward. Viva Sales can specifically help B2B sellers who work a lot with Outlook and Teams by bringing into these apps the CRM data and insights. The features available today with Viva Sales are described in this table. First, we have the admin enablement experience, where a Microsoft 365 administrator can go to the admin portal and install Viva Sales for Outlook and Teams, either for the whole organization or for a group of users. Sellers can connect to their CRM system, Dynamics 365 or Salesforce from Outlook. They can view in Viva Sales Outlook the customers, which are identified based on their email address. Additionally to the sales contact information, we can also see the account and opportunities with more objects to be added very soon. We can also see the recent and upcoming list of meetings for a sales contact, and we also have a streamlined customer creation experience. Recently, we introduced the Viva Sales Copilot, which helps sellers generate email contents and reply to customers quickly for a variety of scenarios, like replying to an inquiry or creating a proposal by using the information from the email thread, CRM data, and the Viva Sales AI GPT models. There's also the Teams meeting summaries with post meeting playback and transcript, with highlights, segmentation into topics, executive summary, action items, and sentiment analysis, which is available after we had a Teams meeting with the customer and Viva Sales app has been added to that meeting. This supports a list of 16 languages today. There's also the sharing and collaboration part where sellers can share the contact opportunity in account links, and these are unfurled in Teams into adaptive cards. As well, the Viva Sales Teams app message extension is available to do the same thing. And finally, we have also introduced earlier this year the customization and configuration experience, where an administrator can choose to customize the CRM information that's displayed in Viva Sales, Outlook, and Teams to give your sellers a more relevant view. Let's have a look now at the Viva Sales capabilities in Outlook first. Once the Microsoft 365 administrator deploys Viva Sales Outlook, sellers will see a banner letting them know that Viva Sales is available upon either drafting a new email or replying to an existing email. They will, upon clicking the banner, they will be asked to sign in. This prompt is required just one time and then single sign-on, and the security context and the security model of the related CRM system will be applied. Once the seller logs into their specific CRM system, Viva Sales lights up and it starts matching the contact email address with contacts in the CRM system. If it does not find a contact, it suggests for that contact to be created. And if there is an email signature available, that signature is parsed and the fields are pre-filled for a quick contact creation. Besides the contact information, we also have the account and opportunity information. These are available in Outlook today, with more entities to be added very soon. Finally, sellers can save emails to the CRM system from Outlook. An email that has not been saved to the CRM system will have the button Save to Dynamics 365 or Save to Salesforce available, and the email can be tracked regarding an account or opportunity today. All right, next experience is sharing data easily between Teams and Outlook using the link unfurling and the message extensions. Sellers can use the links copied from Viva Sales in Outlook and paste these in Teams, where these will be unfurled into an adaptive card, and the same information that we see in Outlook will also be shown in Teams. As well, the message extensions are available. If the Viva Sales Teams app is added to a chat, we can search for all of the records in the system, opportunities, accounts, or contacts, and then share those in the chat. As mentioned, the scope today is contact opportunities and accounts, with more entities to be added very soon. All right, now let's have a look at the Viva Sales AI Copilot, which is the most recent added capabilities in the Viva Sales suite of features.
Microsoft Viva Sales revolutionizes the seller experience. Kelly is a busy seller who gets help from Copilot in Viva Sales, which is available to Dynamics 365 sales customers and as a standalone offering to connect with Salesforce CRM. Copilot helps her to craft a response. Viva Sales automatically generates a suggested reply enriched with the content from the CRM data. You can see there is a mention of the product, the number of units, and the price point, all seamlessly taken from the opportunity data and combined with the email context. With the content complete, she can simply copy the message to her email, make any minor adjustments to suit her style, and send. Not only is this far more effective than crafting a message from scratch, but Viva Sales can instantly store and update the insight back into CRM. As we take a look at Daisy, she uses the power of AI to help run world-class customer calls and meetings by taking notes so she can focus on the customer in her calls. Sales Conversation Intelligence in Microsoft Teams captures the key meeting highlights, questions asked, and even follow-ups. Now Daisy can take this data and create a simple follow-up summary across to her customer to build trust on next steps. Using Copilot, she no longer has to create her own follow-up based upon the notes. GPT generates a customer-ready meeting summary in a single click. The response embeds CRM data and previous meeting context for review and validation. This is something Daisy will see across all of the Copilot sales experiences. She can also see the linked meeting to confirm she has the correct context. Now our sellers can go do what they do best and close deals faster.
As we saw in the Viva Sales AI Copilot demo, with AI-powered conversation intelligence, we are tackling another seller problem. Many sellers struggle to give customers their full attention while also taking notes during a meeting. Also, follow-throughs are important to move a deal forward. With conversation intelligence and the transcript function, Viva Sales is automating the note-taking so sellers are freed up to focus on their customers. They can also gain a deeper understanding and even grow with a digital coach using conversation intelligence meeting summary, suggested follow up action items, meeting highlights, keywords mentioned, sentiment analysis, and searchable transcript. Let's see how we can generate a meeting summary. We can create the Teams meeting either directly from the Outlook calendar. And in this case, if the meeting is with a sales contact that we have already in the CRM system, then the Viva Sales Teams app will be added automatically. In order to get the meeting summary generated, at the minimum, we should have transcription enabled for that particular meeting. If we have created the meeting directly from the Teams calendar, then the Viva Sales Teams app will not be added automatically, but the seller can add it manually upon starting the call. And of course, as well, we should be enabling at the minimum the transcription. The meeting summaries generated by Viva Sales Conversation Intelligence are only available for Teams meetings currently. The summary insights are stored in the Microsoft 365 substrate for now, but with the May release, we can also get these stored in Dataverse as well. There's another TechTalk available that explains in more depth the features available with Viva Sales Conversation Intelligence for Teams Meeting and Sales Conversation Intelligence for Teams Dialer inbound and outbound call, and I invite you to check that out for more information. The other feature available with the Viva Sales Copilot is the Viva Sales GPT email generation. Today, sellers spend as much as 66% of their day checking and responding to emails. But with Viva Sales integrated in Microsoft Outlook, they spend less time composing emails and searching for sales data from the CRM system. The Copilot feature suggests email content that helps sellers to quickly create replies for moving a deal forward. Sellers can choose from a set of predefined response categories such as reply to an inquiry, offer a discount, make a proposal, or enter custom text to generate the email content according to their needs. Once the response category is selected, Copilot creates a sample reply that the seller can further customize and send to the customer. The reply would contain data from the CRM system regarding the current sales contacts, its parent account, and related opportunity products. It can also contain suggested meeting times based on the availability of the seller's Outlook calendar. For the prompt summarize the sales meeting, Viva Sales Copilot intelligently drafts a recap of a call for which we had a meeting summary generated, thus combining the CRM data with the meeting action items and follow-ups so you can quickly contact your customers after a meeting. Summaries can be generated for a range of meeting types in Teams, including multi-participant and internal calls. While going through the Viva Sales features and capabilities, you might have to start thinking about the differences with the existing Dynamics 365 app for Outlook and Teams. These apps are focused on enablement across all Dynamics model-driven apps and are therefore more generic productivity apps. While Viva Sales is an app tailored for the seller's persona, and besides the tracking, reading, and writing of CRM data from Outlook, it also helps sellers collaborate easily and delivers AI powered sales insights. Future energy will be focused on enhancing Viva Sales for the seller persona, so Dynamics 365 app for Outlook users should consider moving to Viva Sales to fully benefit from these features. To help you with the transition, We prepared a comparison of the key features across the two apps. For the AI-powered insights and productivity features, with Viva Sales in Outlook, we have AI GPT for email suggested replies and very soon proactive suggested updates. We have the unlimited conversation intelligence with automatic meeting summaries containing highlights, follow-up tasks, sentiment analysis, and more, and the email signature parsing for quick contact creation. For the Dynamics 365 app for Outlook, we have the scanning of the business card. In terms of the collaboration features, for Viva Sales, there is the copy and pasting of the links unfurled into rich adaptive cards with the new feature collaboration spaces that allows sellers to access and easily create Teams channels from Outlook to come in Q2 of this calendar year. App for Outlook has no collaboration features, but there is the Dynamics 365 app in Teams with comparable capabilities to the message extensions of Viva Sales. For the customer engagement data, the Viva Sales scope is contact, account, and opportunity, including custom fields. For Dynamics 365 Outlook app, the scope is any out of the box key entities and also custom entities can be added, and there is support for create and update for all of these. While in Viva Sales, for contact, we have create and update, and for the other entities, account and opportunity, only update is available today. We are planning to expand the scope from contact, opportunity, and account to all of the out of the box and custom entities, including support for Create, and this should be available in May of this year. Regarding the forms used for data input, Viva Sales uses its own forms that can be customized to include custom fields as well. App for Outlook uses the UCI forms. This is the same forms we would use in the model-driven apps. For dependency on server-side synchronization, Viva Sales does not require server-side synchronization, but if the customers have enabled it, it can work with server-side synchronization as well. While App for Outlook does require always server-side synchronization. For tracking the emails, this is available with Viva Sales in Outlook, and we can use as regarding currently account or opportunity. As mentioned, when we're expanding the scope of Viva Sales, we will also be able to use those other entities as regarding when we're tracking emails. Very important, email attachments are not tracked today with Viva Sales. We are working on adding this capability as well. For App for Outlook, email attachments are tracked and regarding can be set to any out-of-the-box or custom entity as configured by the administrator. When tracking the appointments, these can be tracked as well regarding to an account or an opportunity, and attachments are not tracked. With App for Outlook, attachments are tracked if there is a particular setting that's been enabled by the administrator. In terms of the user experience, the feedback we have received from our early users is that the Viva Sales UI is cleaner and overall more user friendly than the app for Outlook. Before getting started with Viva Sales, please make sure that you have a Microsoft 365 Outlook and Teams a license available and a CRM account available. For Microsoft 365, you can use Viva Sales in Outlook or Teams, and we support desktop or web with Exchange Online. For the CRM account, we are supporting today Dynamics 365 Online and Salesforce. Viva Sales is included with the Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise license and Premium license, while for Salesforce it has a cost of $40 per user per month. There is a step-by-step deployment guide available that was recently published and specific for Dynamics 365 or Salesforce that I strongly recommend for you to review before you enabled Viva Sales in your organization. Handing it over now to Amira to walk us through the Viva Sales architecture.
Let's now get into the details of the architecture and security of Viva Sales. We have here 4 fundamental pillars for Viva Sales. The first one is app management. As you might all know, admins can centrally deploy the app via the Microsoft 365 Admin Center or users can directly install them through the Outlook and Teams App Store. It's a simplified application lifecycle management using known Microsoft admin tools. The second is that Viva Sales is deeply embedded into Microsoft's productivity application suite, mainly in Microsoft Teams and Outlook for now. The service layer is the third pillar, which abstracts the CRM integration into a single layer. This simplifies the process of incorporating other CRM systems in the future and ensures that scalability, availability, compliance, and disaster recovery requirements are met. The data layer is the final pillar, and it's important to note that the existing CRM will continue to serve as the system of record for storing your data. Meanwhile, Dataverse will act as the Viva Sales store. So as mentioned before, the CRM remains the system of records for all the tables, and read-write operations occur in real time without any data duplication. Dataverse acts as a central hub for Viva Sales generated data and serves as an integration surface. In the next slide, we will explore further details about the architecture. The Viva Sales data layer is composed of three distinct categories of data. The first one is Microsoft 365. This includes the end user's current Microsoft 365 data, such as emails and meetings, which are stored in the Microsoft Graph and remains there as a read-only via Viva Sales. The second one is the CRM data. The customer's CRM data is only stored in their existing CRM system. It could be Dynamics 365 or Salesforce, and serves as the primary system of record for all CRM tables. It's the source of truth, and the data is not copied by Viva Sales. And finally, Viva Sales data. The customer's Viva Sales data is produced through Viva Sales feature flows and doesn't fall into Office data or CRM data classifications. For example, it includes settings and insights generated by Viva Sales. Let's now pass to the details of the architecture. So the Viva Sales architecture consists of three layers: client, service, and data. The client layer includes the Viva Sales for Outlook add-in and Teams app, both of which have cloud-hosted UI and are fully managed by Microsoft. The Viva Sales clients only store minimal setup and settings data in the local browser-based application storage, and no personal or other customer data outside of settings is persisted locally. None of the UI or business logic for Viva Sales is shipped as a client-side code in Teams or Outlook. Therefore, customers do not need to manage any of the application lifecycle for the Viva Sales client or server-side components. The service layer combines CRM data, Microsoft 365 data, generative AI, and sales conversation intelligence. These services are all hosted in the Microsoft Azure cloud platform, ensuring a robust infrastructure that can fulfill organizational requirements for compliance, reliability, availability, and disaster recovery. Finally, the data layer that consists of Microsoft 365 data, CRM data, and Viva Sales data. All data is stored in their respective system, and Viva Sales respects the data privacy, security, retention, and compliance boundaries. Viva Sales supports Dynamics 365 and Salesforce as external CRM systems and uses existing Dynamics 365 Dataverse instances for Viva Sales data, while for Salesforce customers, a new Dataverse instance is provisioned. More details about the flows and the sequences diagram and the interactions are mentioned in the Viva Sales architecture document. I invite you to check there to get more details and deeper understanding of the architectures and different flows. Let's now get into the details of where the data is stored exactly. The Dataverse environment is storing connection data for each seller, tracking data such as CRM ID and personal notes. Viva Sales consumes a negligible amount of storage space, and there is no need to purchase additional storage. For Salesforce customers, the Dataverse environment will not store customer data. Currently, the Dataverse environment must be promoted to production when the trial period is ending. This must be preceded by licensing purchase. Microsoft is working on an automatic promotion to the production environment. In terms of tables, we have two tables. The first one, tagged records, that contains the list of contacts that are connected to the CRM via Viva Sales. And the second one is Viva Org settings that contains wide settings for Viva Sales, including CRM customization settings. And finally, as mentioned previously, more details are available in the Viva Sales architecture document with a detailed view on the security roles and privileges of those two tables. The security and compliance topic is the final area we will cover in this section. To start, Viva Sales services operate within the current user's context and adhere to the security model of CRM. Additionally, Microsoft 365 data belonging to end users is always accessed within their authentication context, and we comply with CMK policies while supporting two-factor authentication. Secondly, our work is guided by a fundamental set of principles centered around safety, privacy, transparency, and security. Personal data remains within Microsoft services. Further details can be found in our privacy policy documents. Lastly, it's essential to highlight that Viva Sales always respects the data privacy, security, retention, and compliance boundaries of the underlying data store, with data in transit secured by TLS. Moreover, we ensure that data is not stored beyond the dedicated data stores of Microsoft 365, CRM, and Dataverse.
Let's continue now with the configuration and customization capabilities of Viva Sales. Administrators are now able to customize the CRM information that is shown in the Viva Sales Outlook and Teams experience. There's a rich set of capabilities available that allow sellers to edit the contact account and opportunity forms by adding, removing, reordering out of the box and custom fields. Administrators can also define if entities and fields on forms are editable, and they can be rest assured that Viva Sales will respect the labels. So if tables, entities, or fields were renamed, their respective names will be displayed correctly. Administrators can also choose the contact creation behavior. So if they want the sellers to use the Viva Sales forms for creating contact, or they want to redirect them to use the CRM defined forms. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we will be expanding the scope of Viva Sales to virtually all of the out-of-the-box and custom entities. We'll be able to edit the forms for these entities, and we will have capabilities for filtering, sorting behavior for lists, and also being able to save the Outlook activities, the emails, and the appointments regarding these custom and expanded list of out-of-the-box entities as well. Let's see how you would edit the Viva Sales form. So an administrator would open the Viva Sales Teams app, and they would, if they are set up correctly, they would see the settings tab that would allow them to navigate to the canvas where they can edit those forms. Do have in mind that you can add up to 40 fields per form. And by default, only the contact entity is editable. So if you want your opportunity or your account record to be editable, you must turn on this option to allow editing. As well as editing the forms, an administrator can also allow Viva Sales to generate the suggested email content, so the whole Viva Sales AI Copilot technology. This makes it easy for the sellers to compose or reply to emails quickly. By default, this capability is turned on in some geos, so do make sure that you check if this is turned on in your environment. With these control settings available in the email area, you can also control if sellers can generate suggested email content that will contain an automated recap of a recent recording Teams meeting with the option that's now in preview to summarize a sales meeting. As an administrator that wants to plan their Viva Sales deployment, you can check out the deployment guide that's available in the docs, and there's also the installation guide video available on YouTube. On a high level, there are 4 tasks that you need to take care of. Firstly, make sure that you collaborate with the Microsoft 365 administrator to install Viva Sales for Outlook and Teams. Make sure that transcription is allowed for Teams meetings because this is a requirement for Viva Sales Conversation Intelligence to generate the meeting summary. Secondly, verify the security role, especially of sellers. If you are using the out-of-the-box salesperson or sales manager security roles, you're fine. The Viva Sales privileges are included. But if you are using custom roles, do add the Viva Sales user security role additionally. Third, and this is an optional step, customize Viva Sales if the out-of-the-box forms are not suitable. When customizing, don't recreate the CRM forms. Just consider the essential fields that are required by your sellers to be their most productive. Fourth, do consider that as the app evolves, more feature flags would be added, and check out what are the current feature flags available and turn them on for your sellers. Regarding the application lifecycle management, Viva Sales is a SaaS application with a monthly product release cadence, which includes major product capabilities. There are also ongoing service updates that include product hotfixes and minor product changes. The updates are pushed automatically to users who have the add-in installed without the need for an administrator to take any action. In very rare circumstances, when Microsoft introduces features that require explicit consent, administrators and users will see that a new update is available via the Microsoft 365 Admin Center or the App Store. Additionally, Microsoft will inform administrators via the What's New section of the Microsoft Viva Sales documentation and via notifications in the Microsoft Message Center. Handing it over now to Amira to wrap us up with change management.
Having discussed different features around Viva Sales, let's now shift our focus to successful customers and their strategies. In doing so, we will cover several key recommendations provided by the Fast Track team during engagements. Successful customers have recognized that change management is a critical factor in their success, which is not entirely linked to technology. Therefore, it's important to take it seriously and make appropriate investments in change management. We recommend assigning a responsible individual or team comprising diverse members to drive change and adoption within your organization. This role should manage the feedback loop with end user training, communication, and adoption. It's important to note that this should not only be considered during the initial go live, but also when adding new workloads, making significant changes to a process, or adopting Microsoft releases waves. I would like to highlight also that in around the adoption, there is an adoption playbook that has been published recently by the Fast Track team. I invite you to have a look on it and adopt it and use it during your journey. Let's now pass to the monitoring adoption from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Viva Sales only supports native Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Teams usage monitoring. Admins can view the Viva Sales for Microsoft Outlook add-in usage metrics via the Microsoft 365 reports and the Viva Sales for Microsoft Teams app usage metrics via the Microsoft Teams app usage report. By regularly monitoring the adoption of Viva Sales through the Admin Center, you can identify any potential issues with adoption and take steps to encourage greater usage among your employees. Early adopters of Viva Sales have recognized the significant benefits of its features, which include saving time through AI-assisted email replies, generating detailed summaries and actionable steps after sales calls and meetings, also receiving digital coaching for better insights and guidance on next best steps, tracking progress through intelligent customer account analysis, and efficient collaboration with teams for sharing customer information. And finally, let's finish by the licensing. You should know that the Viva Sales is included in Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprise and Dynamics 365 Sales Premium. For Salesforce, it has a cost of $40 per user per month. Also, it's important to note that with Viva Sales Conversation Intelligence, you have unlimited capacity. It's important to learn about the difference between Viva Sales Conversation Intelligence and Sales Premium Conversation Intelligence. I invite you all to watch the TechTalk published recently by the Fast Track team around this area. Here is a list of some resources that are very important to start your journey with Viva Sales and learn more about the technical, the installation, and the use of Viva Sales. Thank you so much for your attention and see you soon in other Tech Talks.